Hey friends, Nickemwit here. I'm going to record an audio version of my guide to Melee Fundamentals because lots of us have ADHD and have trouble reading long articles. The footage on the screen is unrelated. Melee Fundamentals by Nickemwit, audiobook version, Part 1, Requisite Skills and PvP Basics. Get comfortable enough with your own movement and tech skill such that you rarely need to look at your own character. The goal is to be able to focus your eyes on your opponent's character model, or sometimes the space between your respective characters, without sacrificing your own precision. When performing the most difficult tech skills, greater focus on your own character is warranted. If you are close to achieving this level of comfort and precision and want to attain true mastery, try taking a particular sequence of movements and performing it with your eyes closed. If you open your eyes and you're exactly where you should be, this bodes well. Be ready to move as quickly as possible out of virtually every situation. The value of knowing end lag, hit stun, etc. in every scenario cannot be overstated. Though it is not always best to move on your first actionable frame, being able to is the single most valuable thing to master. Sneaking in fast falls whenever possible is a good way to really speed up your game. See Plup. Ledge cancels and teeters can also accelerate your game, but don't get too cute with them. Punish game is crucial and easier to improve at than other aspects of the game, so strive to always have your bread and butter punishes polished and ready to execute at the drop of a dime. Switching from neutral mode into punish mode can be difficult. Playing more coherently in neutral can make it easier. If you're trying to hit someone, you usually need to aim not where they are, but where they will be. Use baits, especially if neutral has slowed or if your opponent is playing static. If you are at disadvantage, prioritize resetting to neutral rather than trying to get a reversal. Leveraging slick movement can help. Fighting out of a bad spot instead of trying to find a better one is among the most commonly committed errors. Avoiding bad spots is great, but they cannot always be avoided. Learn to be comfortable in conceptually bad spots by understanding the deeper dynamic of the situation. Sometimes, intentionally putting yourself in a bad spot can be fine. Move quickly out of these spots before your opponent has mentally adjusted and can capitalize. It is entirely possible to bait your opponent by putting yourself in a bad spot intentionally. Try to play on reaction. More than trying to react all the time, this means to set yourself up for situations where you are able to react. Conversely, using options that your opponent will be unable to react to is strong, even if such options are risky conceptually. Learning which situations are reactable takes much experience. Understanding threat ranges and spacings will let you anticipate situations which will improve your ability to react, especially with DI and SDI. Try to SDI most of the time, but not at the cost of regular DI. Laziness about inputting SDI is a terrible habit. Avoid playing in predictable rhythms. No matter how good your spacing and reactions are, being rhythmically predictable is a liability. This applies not only to dash dances and ground movement, but also to airborne play, particularly when it comes to using fastfall. Much of the urgency that players feel is fictitious. Sometimes doing nothing is the best play. Learn to be comfortable pressing no buttons. Covering all options or most options is sometimes worse than covering fewer options. The punish incurred by hard commitments may warrant ceding other coverage. Moreover, if your opponent knows that you are trying to cover as many options as possible, they will select the option that is hardest or most poorly covered in tandem with the others. Remind yourself of win conditions and play to them. Don't be too degenerate or predictable. Pay attention to if your opponent is being too predictable in this way so that you can bait and punish them. Have a balance of outplay attempts and chump checks. Being a bit wishful in bad spots is forgivable. The best players know to not play too cheesy, but also not too honest. Minimize your reliance on tech skill, but always have it. For the most important tech skills, perform them constantly despite the possibility of flubbing, because these are the ones you will need to have on deck at all times. Going for reads out the gate can be surprisingly strong. People have tells in their game, allowing for big commitments early, leading to decisive momentum or mental advantages. See my How to Read Opponents article for more details. TLDR there is that you should hypothesize and categorize player tendencies. Information about an opponent can be gained for situations that haven't arisen based on conceptual similarities. Conversely, Saving clutch reads or baits for the right moment can be better than taking a stock at a less crucial moment. My personal heuristic is that I will generally take any free stock, but if I feel really confident a particular gamut is to work in the clutch, then I'll save it to leverage at the right moment. Sometimes this can even be the case if it didn't work earlier, as certain situations and dynamics could lead to something that failed previously. Saving a decisive read can win a set, as seen with most of my most famous wins, these forward smashes against Triff, Captain Baseroll, and Cyrane. Learn to grab ledge quickly from any position on stage. In many matchups, if the opponent is taking their time off the ledge, stealing the ledge is a strong play, and is better than just spamming attacks on stage and hoping they bungle their invincibility use. Shield the appropriate hardness. Practice this in doubles, where holding shield is much stronger. Don't forget to angle your shield as well. Formulate game plans. Stage selection should correlate with your plans. Just because a stage is supposed to be good for the matchup doesn't mean you should pick it. Going to a stage at a different point in a set, particularly in best of five, can have ramifications for your odds of winning on that stage and subsequent ones. Have more plans for characters with more neutral game playstyles. If the other character has many viable ways of playing neutral, you will need multiple game plans, or at least a highly malleable one with distinct branches. Be cognizant of mental damage. Many sets are decided by a pivotal moment where one player's mental game crumbles. End part 1. Click that like and subscribe button.